Wolfman, an Arab folklore-inspired horror story, intro in the forgotten folds of the Jordanian highlands, where winter winds whisper secrets through olive groves and old stone houses, there exists a village. Most maps do not name Al-Husn. Its people speak little of what happened there in the year 1897. But to this day, travelers who pass through the village are warned. Do not wander the hills after for that is when the Wolfman walks. The beginning. Yusuf ibn Tarek was a young herbalist who had returned to Al-Husn after studying in the city of Salt. He was a man of faith and science, respected for treating wounds with both dua and dik. But when his uncle fell ill from something no doctor could name, Yusuf returned home to tend to him. His uncle, Haj Salim, once strong and wise, now lay shivering and muttering things that chill the soul. He waits under the olive tree, he'd whisper, eyes darting toward the window. He comes with the wind, the cursed one. The villagers spoke in hushed voices. Some said Salim had seen a jinn in the form of a wolf. Others whispered of the Katrub, a creature from Arab legend, part man, part beast, cursed to wander the earth and feed on fear. Yusuf dismissed these tales. He believed in the unseen. Of course, the Quran makes clear that jinn are real. But he did not believe in legends. Not until the scratching began. The night scratches it started after Risha one Thursday night. The sound of claws scraping stone. Yusuf went outside with a lantern, reciting Ayat al-Kursi, convinced it was a stray dog. But what he found was no dog. A trail of massive paw prints led from the edge of the olive grove to his doorstep. The prints stopped, but no animal was there. Only a thick stench of blood and wet fur hung in the air. That night, his uncle screamed in his sleep. He's in the walls. Yusuf, his teeth, his claws, they never stop. Yusuf recited Quran over him, stayed up praying, but the sense of dread grew heavier, like a storm building inside the bones. The transformation Friday came with grey skies and silence. Yusuf left for Juma prayer, but the imam of the masjid was absent. An old man led the salah instead, and his khutbah was unusual. He warned of arrogance, of how some among jinn were cast out for mimicking the form of man, and some men were cursed for mimicking the nature of beasts. He who abandons the mercy of his Lord, he said, becomes a thing neither jinn nor man. Yusuf felt a chill he couldn't explain. That night, the scratching returned, this time from inside the house. Yusuf ran to his uncle's room, but it was empty. The window was open, claw marks on the frame, and bloody prints led out into the night. The Wolfman appears. A search party was gathered. By the light of lanterns and Quranic recitation, they ventured into the olive grove. There, beneath the oldest tree, they found him. Not Salim, a thing wearing his face. It stood on two legs, but hunched like a beast. Its arms were elongated, clawed, covered in matted fur. Its eyes were human, and full of pain. When Yusuf stepped forward, the creature snarled but did not attack. It looked at him, wind lowly, then fled into the hills. That was the last time anyone saw his uncle. The curse revealed. Weeks passed. Yusuf fell into seclusion. He researched ancient texts and consulted elders. The truth unraveled slowly, like a knot soaked in blood. Years ago, Salim had joined a group of men who'd desecrated a cave considered sacred by Inside, they mocked ancient markings, laughed at warnings, even took something, a stone with inscriptions older than Islam. That cave, it turned out, was sealed for a reason. It was the burial place of a cursed jinn, one who could not possess, but could merge with those who defied sanctity. A nax was placed on the cave to keep the curse buried. When the men disturbed it, they unleashed the wrath. All died mysteriously, except Sam. He survived, but he changed. Slowly, painfully, bit by bit, Yusuf realized the clawing, the howling, the nightmares, they weren't just hauntings. His uncle was the Wolfman. The final prayer, Yusuf returned to the olive grove one last time before leaving Al Husn forever. He brought with him only two things, a mushaf and a blade. He sat beneath the old tree and recited Surah Al-Baqarah through the night, calling upon Allah's mercy, asking for forgiveness for his uncle, and strength for himself. At Fajr, the beast came. But it did not attack. It stood at the edge of the grove, eyes glowing in the pale blue light, breath steaming. Yusuf raised his hand, reciting the final verses. The beast howled, then collapsed. When Yusuf reached it, there was no monster, only his uncle's body, finally still. Epilogue: Yusuf buried him near the tree, marked only by a simple stone. He left the village soon after, warning its people to never mock the sacred and never stray from dhikr, especially after nightfall. Some say the curse died with Salih, but on cold nights, when the moon is high and the wind moans through the trees, the people of Al Husn still lock their doors tightly, because once a man walks as a beast, the scent of blood never truly fades. And we have certainly created man, and we know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein. Surah Qaf, numberless. Story written with respect to Islamic principles and rooted in Arab folklore horror. For narration use, include ambient background, sounds like wind, rustling leaves, distant howls, and soft Quranic recitation for atmosphere.